How you doing? Hey, my name is Reza. I'm a young adults pastor in Fort Collins, Colorado at Timberline Church, and I want to talk to you a little bit about what does it mean to be a young adults leader when your young adult ministry will include people that are in college, people that are college age but aren't necessarily going to school. Maybe you have young professionals in your ministry, but then also about young married couples. Here in our young adults ministry, we range from age about 18, 19 years old all the way up to about 31, 32 years old. We don't have cutoffs. We don't check IDs at the door. We don't tell people they can't come anymore. But what we really try to do is really try to minister to people in three specifically different life stages, but also try to ground them with scriptural principles that are relevant to their lives, whether they're a college student, whether they're a young professional, or they're a young married couple. No matter what life stage a young adult might find themselves in, they still have the same needs that every single one of us have. We have a need for intimacy, and that intimacy with the Lord, intimacy with each other, intimacy within community. We all have a longing to discover truths of Scripture, truths of the Bible, the timeless truths that Jesus himself taught. And it's very difficult to try to craft a message that maybe will impact a college student and a young married couple in the exact same way. Somebody who's 19 or 20 years old, coming out of high school, going into their college years, struggling with what it means to balance their college life and their witness as a believer on their college campus, and also try to connect that with a couple who is 27 years old, who is experiencing their first year of marriage and maybe even experiencing what it's like to be parents. And it's absolutely impossible to try to tackle all three life stages with maybe the exact same message that's specific to their life stages. I feel it's very important to speak to college students in very specific and direct ways about the things that they're facing. I think it's very important to talk to post-college, those young professionals that are in their mid to late 20s, even early 30s, that are balancing work and finances and wanting to be married but yet not finding that mate yet. And then also speaking directly to young married couples about the challenges and some of the opportunities of what it looks like to be a married couple. See, what we do is we have a worship gathering where kind of all three communities, all three life stages, they gather together. And we have found great value in finding young marrieds and college students in the same room. And when we gather in those big environments and those worship settings and those gatherings, we really try to center on the principles of Jesus and what Christ says. Let me share with you a sample of maybe something that we would teach when all three life stages are together. Matthew chapter 5. Verse 13, Jesus says, "You are the salt of the earth, but if the salt loses saltiness, how can it be made salty again and is no longer good for anything except to be thrown out and trampled by men? You are the light of the world. A city on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp, put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before men, that they may see your good deeds and praise your Father in heaven." You see, whether it's a 19-year-old college student taking a biology course, or a young professional working as a teller in a bank, or a young wife or a young husband trying to figure out what it means to honor God in their marriage, scriptures like "go out and be salt and light in this world," they resonate with everybody. And so when we gather together, we try to communicate what does Christ call us to be individually, what does he call us to be as a community, but what does he call us to be in this world? And again, those truths can be communicated and they can be connected with anyone in any life stage that they're at. But yet we also do separate when we have our growth groups, our small groups, our life groups, whatever groups you want to call them. And we have college students that get together on campus or around campus, and those Bible studies are pretty specific to college age. We've got young professional groups that are meeting all over the city in coffee shops and in homes. And then we have young marrieds going through young married specific small group stuff. So you don't have to do your ministry the way we do ours. That's the best way that we have found to gather people together in a worship environment from different life stages, rubbing up against each other. One of the powerful things I think about church is that you can be in a church service at many churches across the United States, even the world, and you might have a junior high student next to an elderly person, next to a single mom, next to a homeless person. And yet, no matter what life stage they come from, they're still pursuing the same Jesus. You see, our young adults ministries can be fashioned the exact same way, having college students, young professionals, and young marrieds together. But yet I think it's very important for those groups, those life stages, to be specifically with one another when it comes to that life-on-life discipleship, iron sharpening iron in those small group environments. So that's kind of how we do it. I hope that you're reaching young adults in your own specific creative ways. And thanks for being a light. And let me just encourage you again to call your young adults to be salt and light in this world, no matter what life stage they might find themselves in. God bless you, and keep making a difference for the kingdom. Bye-bye.